Hey, hi everyone, welcome back. So, guys, as part of the today's session, we are gonna see how exactly we can read the data from a config.ini file. So, basically, in that particular file, right, you will be storing some kind of a data like on which browser you wanna deal with, or in certain situations, you will also store the Appium or the web specific capabilities information in that or certain locators information. All those things you will be defining in this ini file, where we will maintain the data in the form of sections in that particular file. Okay, we will maintain the data in the form of sections in that particular file. Okay, the config.ini, it contains the data in the form of a sections. So what I am doing right now means, in my utils package, I'm creating a particular file and I'm naming it as a config.ini. As said that this should have a data in the form of a sections. So here I'm considering it as a first section, which is the basic info. Okay, I'm just defining it as a basic info, the first section. The key is a URL and the value is levy.com. Okay, the browser name is the key and the value is Chrome. So these are the capabilities, guys, consider for this particular the basic information. Another category, mobile. Okay, mobile. So here execution OS is equal to Android. So consider that these are the two sections. This is going to be my second section and this is going to be my first section. I want to read the data from this particular file. So here I'm creating a new Python file where I'm naming it as a config reader. So as part of this particular config reader, you wanna import this config parser. Okay, so this is the one that we need to import. And on top of it, so I'm just defining an instance for this. This config parser is there in this particular config. And here, the simple method that we want to use is a read, for which you need to specify the file and both are at the same location. Hence, I am not defining any other slashes or anything. Directly, I am defining, config.ini. And now, in order to get the data, I can use a config dot get, where in which you need to specify the section. So the section that I want to specify out over there is the basic info. Okay, so basic info is the section that I want to get that particular data. And in the basic info, I want to get the username. Okay, in the basic info, I want to get that particular username. Probably just print that information. Okay, so when I run it, so here the browser name is a Chrome, it got a printed down. For suppose from the same thing, I want to get the URL. Just check out here the URL. So when I run it, so we are getting that particular URL. And again, so here I want to get the mobile section. Okay, this time I want to get the mobile section in which I want to get the execution OS. So when I run this particular command, these details are printing down to the console. Okay, these details are being printing down to the console. Perfectly all right. So this is a generic logic. So in order to work on a utility perspective, you need to create a method. So here I'm defining a method with a name as a read config, and I'm giving a two arguments. One is the section that it needs to read and the key that it needs to read. So here I want to pass on this particular above logic here itself directly, and in which the next thing here is it needs to get this information, right? So this is returning config.get and the section name you will be passing it dynamically, and the key, of course, you will be passing it furthermore in a dynamic nature. Perfectly all right, it's done. Now the next thing that you need to do is I can read this particular configuration where I want to read it from a basic information, and I want to read that particular URL value. So when I run this, the same information is being printing down to the console. If you want, you can also read the browser name. Of course, the last one is from the mobile. From the mobile, I want to read the execution OS. Even that's being printing down the same. So this is the way how exactly you can read the data as part of a config reader from a config.ini file. Whichever the project specific configuration information is there, we will be specifying as part of this config reader. Okay, and a config.ini files. Fine. Done the deal. See you in the next session. Thank you.